Did you know that depression is 100% curable without any antidepressants? Hi, my name is Dr. Julia Hafner, and I am a medical doctor, and I'm here to help you to become your own best doctor. And today we'll talk about your depression. First of all, we first need to understand what is depression. Depression is all about living in the past, even if it's a good memory, even if it's a happy memory. You are still living it as a happy memory because you are not happy in the present moment. So, depression is all about living constantly in the past with happy or unhappy moments, memories. Now, if we keep delving into the past, what is going to happen is that we're going to bring those vibrations, those emotions, those feelings into this present moment. And that is going to stir up a perpetual circle of sadness. Because your mind only knows the past. Your identity is locked into the past. And that's how you are going to have depression. Because when our mind only knows the past, if it knows only traumas of the past, then your mind is always going to be unhealthy. And when we do this, when we decide, look, today I'm going to change, today I'm going to do meditations, I'm going to learn the spiritual teachings and practices, but your subconscious mind is already it already knows that none of this is going to work. And that's where you give up before you even start, because you don't believe it. And you are going back into the past. Now the thing here is that we need to get you to believe that you are able to heal your depression. You need to reprogram your mind. And most of our life happens subconsciously, right? 95% of our life is run by the subconscious. And that's why we need to work with the subconscious. And how do we do it? By repetition. And the best way to cure depression is by living the present moment and by raising your vibration, by thinking differently, choosing thoughts that are of a higher vibration, of a higher nature than the thoughts that you're entertaining now. And the most simplest way of doing that is with a stone. Grab a very simple stone. It doesn't need to be like I have a rose quartz here. It doesn't need to be anything fancy. Just go on the street and grab a little stone, anything that you can find. And every time you hold that stone, you have gratitude for what you are doing right now in the present moment. Because depression cannot live in the present moment. Because ego cannot live in the present moment. So when you grab a stone and you are grateful for small things like coffee or having water, or you have this phone in your hands, you're connected to people, you have your family, you have a home, you have a house, whatever it is, when you grab a stone and you are grateful in that moment, you cannot feel depressed, because your subconscious mind or conscious mind, it can only hold one thought at a time. Because what happens when we feel thoughts of happiness and we are present, we are grateful for what we have right now in this very moment, in that moment we cannot feel depressed, because the depression cannot live in the present. It simply cannot. So what we have to do, we need to train our mind to be more positive. So consciously you might understand that, right? It's like, of course, yeah, clear, yeah. But subconsciously there might be still a gap. And that's why that is why we have to be careful in which state we find ourselves in the present moment. Because when we live in the low vibrations, we're going to stay there. But the more we raise our vibrations, by, for example, being grateful for things that we have right now in this present moment, the more we raise those vibrations, the actual vibrational state is going to rise, and the lower vibrations, all these negative emotions of sadness, grief, judgment, depression, anger, frustration, they will all just naturally drop off, quite literally. Because when you live up here, all these negative emotions, they cannot coexist with you at the same time. They will disappear because you're not giving them any energy. So where our attention goes, there our energy goes. And then since it does not receive any energy from you, it will simply drop off. And because we live our life most 95% subconsciously. We need to work with the subconscious mind. You cannot simply say, okay, I'm going to cure my depression right here today, and I'm going to think positive, and I'm going to this. It kind of doesn't work like this, because all the programs that are creating your life today, they're working in the back of your mind subconsciously. For example, you're breathing right now, and you're not even aware that you're breathing, but you're breathing. Your heart is beating, but you are not even aware that it is beating, right? So imagine those programs in the background that are constantly running day in and day out. And we can get rid of those programs and loosen patterns that are harmful, that are damaging, and that are negative. Of course, it just takes a little bit of time, a little bit of perseverance, and maybe a little bit of commitment, but it works. And the thing is that we have to be very careful where we are right now in the present moment. And that stone will help you to be in the present moment and be aware, okay, where are my thoughts? Am I grateful for what I have right now? And bring it back, because it only takes one fleeting memory to go into the past. And it will stir up all those emotions, all those feelings, all those thoughts. So you again will be locked into that negative place in the past. But by working with a simple stone like this, you can cure depression, because you are going to reprogram your conscious mind without any antidepressants. You just have to think differently. You have to make a decision. Look, I'm going to think, I'm just only for one day, I'm going to do this technique. I'm going to practice my gratitude stone every time I hold something, like every time I do something, I grab that gratitude stone and say, oh my God, I'm so thankful. Oh my God, thank you. Thank you, consciousness, for this experience. Thank you for this coffee. Thank you for this food. Thank you for the water that runs in my home, that I don't need to run and then get from the ground, from a well. You see, we are so abundant. We just need to shift our perspective to things that we already have. We are so abundant. You are abundant. You are getting to experience this life. This is like winning a lottery ticket. You're experiencing this amazing life. All we have to do is simply shift our perspective, shift our awareness on things that we already have. We raise our vibrations. And when we raise our vibration, all these negative thoughts and feelings and emotions that are keeping us locked into the past, into this depressive state, they will have no hold of us whatsoever anymore. Because you made a decision to change your life. You are that powerful. Your decision is the key. You can change your life by changing your thinking. So try it out for yourself and see how much your life will change with that simple gratitude stone. You can cure any disease without any medication by simply changing your thinking.